All right, we're back. Welcome to ALaMode. Modes are just a group of looper pedal buttons, and we compare them together. You might like some of the ways that these are coming together, but just like ice cream, it's subjective. Today's special is the factory set effects showcase that your RC-600 already has programmed on mode 3. I'm Mike, and this is Cuzolio. All right, the factory set effects showcase. It really is a showcase. Roland wanted to show how this thing actually works. This is pretty much an input effects and track effects type of mode. This should be on a memory mode. Mode 3 is how it comes. Hardware requirements is just the RC-600. We're going to take up all 9 of the pedals on mode 3. And there are no assigns that are really involved. As far as what goes well with this, there's no track controls on here whatsoever, so you definitely want to pair this with a track control mode. Let's build it up. All right, like we said, this is probably a memory type of mode, and it's on mode 3, an input and track effects type of mode. We're going to get rid of all these guys here. First things first, the pedal mode. How did you get over here? And the first thing that we have along the bottom is input effects A, B, and C. And they come with a few examples, and they are all set to all. They're going to apply to all 6 of your inputs. So one of the very first things you want to do is dive in and select an input effects A that you really like, and then only assign it to the guitar. A B, only assign it to the microphone, whatever you want to do there. Please note there are 4 input effects on every bank, and there's 4 banks, but they didn't save a spot for that. So, you know, they only have so many buttons. Same exact thing goes for track effects A, B, and C. These are all pre-programmed to apply to all the tracks, but most people probably like that. If you want a low pass filter on your bridge, you probably put on all of them. Maybe you go in and only have it be on one track, but you know, maybe you want your drums to stay the same, and then the low pass filter goes on. Once again, there are 4 track effects in each bank, and there are 4 banks, but there wasn't enough room for it, so they're only allowing you 3. That's why this is a showcase. It's not the ideal thing. So the next one is current track half speed. Let's say I was recording on number 4, and so this is currently selected. When I hit the half speed button, only track 4 is going to go to half speed. And then when I hit it again, it's going to undo and go back to full. Last one is current track reverse. And again, same thing, depending on if I'm picking tracks 1, 2, or 3, or 4, 5, or 6. When I hit track reverse over in mode 3, it's only going to do the one that's currently selected. So you got to make sure before you navigate away from modes 1 and 2, and you get over to here, which track you're actually going to be reversing. So this is pretty much it. Let's talk about different ways you can manipulate it. Okay, first things first. Let's say you don't like half speed or reverse. A lot of people might not like that. I want to put in all 4 of these guys, and I happen to have enough buttons for that. Input effects D right here. That way I've got the 4 of them all lined up. C and D. So all my track effects can be here. And I mean, you could switch them around. What really matters is which these are assigned to. Is it a low pass filter or is it a delay? What exactly are you putting here? So you can get creative with this. Say I actually do want to manipulate 4 of my input effects, but I only need 2 track effects. Let's at least make the OCD people happy. What are we going to do right here? We have 2 extra buttons. So let's bring back current track half speed. I really like current track half speed specifically for my drums. Record the bass drum and the snare drum on track 1, and then either your hi-hats or your rides, whatever it is, on track 2. With track 1 selected, and hit current track half speed. My hi-hats will stay the same, but then my bass and snare are going to go to half speed. It's a cool effect where you're actually splitting up your drums, and so if you have that cut time feel on a certain song, you can do it that way. One other one that you might be interested is that there's another one called current track double speed. So I can click right here and it will actually increase the drums, let's say from that first example, to double the speed. So one important thing to note here is that anytime you see speed and anytime you see tempo. So tempo has to do with the actual tempo of the entire RC-600, and it's going to affect the rhythm and all 6 tracks. It's the little BPM number in your screen right here. Whereas speed, anything that mentions speed, has to do with an individual track. So I could double the speed of a track or half the speed of a track, and it will still stay within sync if you have loop syncs on. You could put that there and that'd be great, and you could increase one track or not. You could also put a tap tempo here and say at the end of a song, you could tap slower and slower and slower and kind of slow the song down if you really wanted to, or just immediately jump to a new slower tempo, hold it down, and it'll go revert back to the original BPM. Another thing to note is that you could actually use an expression pedal. It's not the tap tempo one, but there's tempo up and tempo down are built-in controls expressions. This is Future Mike. I found them. Tempo up, tempo down. So I could say tempo up, where if it's heeled all the way down, it's going to be the original BPM that was going. And then when I go all the way forward, it will just increase all the way up to double. And I put in the tempo down, heel down will be the original BPM. And then as I go further and further all the way until it's toe down, that's going to be half the tempo. Finally, there's an assign that's just called tempo, and you can use an expression pedal and put that there. But oh boy, that is tough to get back to the original BPM, because if you're controlling between 40 and 300 here, then you want to get back to 128. It's going to be very difficult unless you're looking at the BPM the entire time. So again, I think we could just leave it there. I don't think we need to demo this because it's really dependent upon what you're actually choosing for all your input and track effects. And then there's a couple other extra things like tempo, speed, or reverse that you might actually like. So give it a shot, play around with it, and let me know how it goes in the comments. I'm Mike, and this is Cuzolio.